Alright, for the second part of the video, we're going to get into the part that I'm sure you actually came here for, the actual hair dyeing. Again, the first thing that we're going to go into here is what products to use. There are actually a lot of different brands of hair dye out there, and in my experience, there's no one color that, or one brand that does everything. Depending on what kind of color and what kind of output you want, different things change. I've personally used Pravana, Raw, Punky Color, Color Fiend, Manic Panic, Special Effects. This here is Special Effects. It's mostly Limelight with a little bit of Fishbowl Blue. And I actually really like Special Effects. One of the cool things that is just how bright and like vivid it comes out, and how it fades like very vivid as well. The other color product you get that from is Pravana. Pravana is a really good product. Part of the issue is though is it's not sold in a lot of places. It's salon brand, so basically unless you work at a salon, it's really hard to get. However, you can find it online in a lot of places if you really want to go that route. I only have 2 issues with Pravana. Like it's really intense color payout. It just comes out beautifully. But the issues that I have with that are it tends to last very long, which doesn't sound like it would be a bad thing, but it lasts really long, and it's really permanent. It's basically like the most permanent unnatural dye you can find. So it's really hard to, like, basically if you want to change colors, too bad. You either have to go darker or cut off your hair. I managed to bleach out purple, but it took me like a long time, a really long time to eventually get it to bleach out. So, that's a good one. Like if you know for sure that you just want, this little blue streak in your hair or whatever, if if you're absolutely certain you want that, go with Pravana. Like it'll give you this gorgeous color payout. It won't fade for a really long time. It'll be beautiful. But if you're like me and you want to change your hair color every couple of weeks, then you're really going to want to go with Special Effects for that kind of result. However, Raw is also a really good brand. By the way, Special Effects can be found, this is Special Effects, this is Raw. Special Effects can be found at Blue Boutique, and I think they also have it at Pibbs, and this is a Hot Topic brand only. The issue with Raw is that a lot of the colors, well, there just isn't as much of a range. It isn't as much of an established brand as Special Effects is. Special Effects is one of the really old ones, and it's really good. It's just, again, like kind of limited colors. However, if I'm ever going to do pink and purple, like those are my favorite colors and those are ones I always use, and if I'm ever going to use them, then I always go Raw. I always use Raw Deep Purple and Raw Candy Pink. They always come out really gorgeous, really vibrant, and they fade together really well, and they're really nice. Plus, they're easy. You can get them at Hot Topic. Both of those brands can be got for about $13, Hot Topic or Blue Boutique, whichever one you want to go to. Another good brand to consider is Punky Color. Punky Color you get at Got Beauty, so like let's say you went there to get your bleach and you just want to do it all in one trip, you could always get that. The issue I have with Punky Color is the colors aren't really that punky, I guess, which sounds kind of weird, but like with Special Effects you get like these really intense colors. Like they've even got UV colors like that'll react, they'll glow in the dark basically, or they'll glow under black lights. They're so cool. But Punky Color, like the brightest green you can get is this color called Spring Green, and it's like, it's just not that bright, like it's sort of a verdant green like this. It's a nice color, but like it's not really bright. You don't really get a lot of bright colors. They do have bright yellow though, and like I used their purple once and it turned pink in like 2 days, and that really sucks because pink is cool and stuff, but if I want purple, I want purple. There are a lot of other brands out there, however those are really the good ones you want to look into. I've heard good things about Manic Panic, however I haven't tried the amplified brand that much. The normal kind, the non-amplified ones, only last a week. It kind of sucks. Of course, they're the only kinds that like they can get some really good vibrant results, but again, like they don't last very long at all. And then Color Fiend, that's another Hot Topic brand. Sucks balls, don't even look at it. It lasts for a week, period. Sometimes it doesn't even dye your hair. It just sucks balls. And let's see, what else? Fudge is okay. Like again, it has very low, not long lasting results. Those are the main ones that I can think of. I think there are a couple other brands out there, but they aren't super, a big deal. Oh, also, I mentioned it before in the bleaching session, like if you want to dye your hair white, I've only ever used the platinum color from Punky Color to, try and go white with, and it turned my hair pretty purple. Like it was light purple. And I actually shaved my head too soon after that to see the results, but I imagine after washing and washing and washing for like a week, then your hair would turn white. I believe that's what's happened. I know some of them will have slightly better results, like that won't turn out as purple. You can get those, however, from actually some of the lesser known brands. I'm going to have a link to this place called Be Unique that has a bunch of different brands and a bunch of different colors, and it'll also have a lot of examples of Special Effects and Manic Panic, which are like these two very important, you know, significant old time brands. And so if you really, you know, we're curious about what kind of colors are available, that'll be like, have just basically a list of all the colors you could get. And plus it has photos of people who've used them, so you can actually see how it'll turn out on different kinds of hair. Anyhow, now that we've gone into all of that good stuff, let's actually take a look at how to do it. Give me a second. Oh, right. Just one last thing. Punky Color is also really good because A, it comes in this, which is actually contains more than one of these. Like not exactly, but you end up getting more out of this just because you can reach down in there and get like all the little bit out, where there's always a little bit left in the bottle. Like I tried to use everything from this, but you can see like there's still just that little bit left in the bottom. And also it's only $8 as compared to 13, so it's like $5 off. So like let's say you wanted to go, you know, green, blue, and purple, then you might want to go with Punky Color, even if the color payout's not as good, just because it would be like $15 off as compared to using a Special Effects brand. Anyhow, we'll actually get into the application process. The first thing to consider is, you know, like with bleach, you're going to want to use a towel and you're going to want to use gloves. However, the reason for that is this stuff is, you know, really nice conditioning. It's basically just colorant. Like it doesn't, you know, it doesn't burn, doesn't sting. You don't want to get in your eyes because, you know, that is, it's still going to, you know, cause you to go blind or whatever. But like if you get it on your skin, it's not going to have any negative effects. You're just going to have green skin for a while. Like, I don't know if you can tell, I think I still got like blue on my neck somewhere. Or maybe it's on the other side. Well, in any case, my neck's kind of blue right now, as you can tell, I'm sure. It does stain, but like, it's not something I've ever really had to worry about that much. Like, I mean, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but like my part is still like got these little green splotches and stuff on it. And that just kind of happens. Like, too bad, it's not that big of a deal. It washes off in like one shower. And this is with Special Effects, which is like one of the most notoriously staining brands. However, that's with skin. It's a whole different story with like clothes or walls or floors or shower curtains. If you get the dye on any of those things, they're just gonna be green forever and ever now. Like, I mean, you can clean it, but it's really hard and it takes a long time. You gotta use a lot of like ammonia and really bad, nasty products. So if you can, like, just be careful, you know, don't get it on clothes that you know, want to keep around. And, you know, just like be careful when you're getting it out of the bottle and stuff. I know I have a tendency to like fling dye everywhere when I'm trying to put it on my head. So like I just end up with these little like green and pink splotted walls. And when you're rinsing your hair, there's kind of not much you can do about it. But like me personally, I have a pink shower curtain. Like it used to be white. It's not anymore. It's just pink now. Since it's such a vibrant color, I personally don't care that much, and I don't think that many people would either. Like, you know, let's say you're renting or whatever, and you end up getting on the shower curtain, it's not like you couldn't buy a new one. And it's not like anybody's gonna be like, oh, it's gross, it's purple. Any case, there are a lot of, you know, different effects that people like to achieve with this. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like I've got blue on the back of my head there. Basically what I do when I want to have like different colors on different parts of my head is I just get a bunch of little scrunchies or, you know, hairbands or whatever, and I, you know, will pull up the front of my hair like that and like the side and just basically just section my hair out into all these little ponytail thingies and then color them one by one, and I color each one, you know, whatever color I want. And if like I've got a specific effect, like I just want the bangs, then I separate the bangs from the rest and I make those a different color. Let's say you didn't want to dye a specific portion of your hair. Like, I know it's really popular to have like your natural hair color on top and then like underneath put like a layer of blue or teal or something. What you'd actually want to do is put conditioner in the part of your hair that you want to keep the normal color, because if you do that, like, it will keep the color from taking. Plus, like, a lot of people say if you want to do that, you use Vaseline, which is a really bad idea because Vaseline just doesn't come out of your hair ever. Speaking of which, you can also put Vaseline like along your hairline if you really, really don't want to get dye on your skin. But again, like, it's not really that noticeable and it doesn't really stain that much. So it's not, you know, oh no, you've got dye on your skin. Also, a lot of things recommend like using peroxide and stuff to get it off your skin. If you do, just don't even go there. Like, I promise it's not that bad. Nobody's gonna laugh at you that much if you have like a little green spot right here, you know? Just Don't be using that nasty, you know, peroxide chemical stuff on your skin. Just don't. Anyhow, derp, 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 derp. Yeah, like another effect I know that's popular is like the raccoon tail thing. I personally would just use a hair extension for that, like if I was going to do that. However, if you know you really want to dye it in, what you do is you put like a little strip of dye along here, and then you put some tin foil over it, and you wrap the hair up, and you leave that, and then you put tin foil over it again, and then you wrap it down. So basically you just make like a zigzag with, you know, with foil in between each layer, and you put nothing on one layer, dye on the next, nothing on one layer, dye on the next, or, you know, black on one layer, green on the next, black on one layer, green on the next. That's something that you have to be like really careful though, because if you don't, then the colors just end up fading together and you've just got this, you know, greeny black strip. At the same time, you know, let's say you were doing blue and white, then you might just get sort of a light blue strip, and that wouldn't necessarily be bad. Like, my experience with dyeing my hair is that sometimes I have, you know, minutes of ineptitude and it doesn't turn out exactly like I imagined in my head, but just because the colors are so vibrant and like incredible, they still turn out looking really cool. So, you know, basically what you're going to end up with is something that looks awesome, even if it's not exactly what you were looking for. A lot of people I know, when they're applying, like to use tint brushes. They sometimes come in like dye kits. I don't personally like to use them. They're pretty useful for getting it through your hair, I guess, but I'm kind of lazy, so basically I just, you know, take the dye, glop it on my hand. Green hair. Yay! However, you know, some people like to be very careful, and what you do with that is you just like pull up a strip of hair and you dye it, you move it to the other side. And then you pull up another strip of hair and you dye it, you move it to the other side. Strip of hair, dye it. And so forth and so on until you've got your hair to where you want it to be. And you've got it like all worked through. Of course, that's also a really good method to use if you just want to go like one color all over and you don't have a lot of colors to use. Like I know some people do rainbows a lot. Another thing to consider is like when you're choosing what colors you want to put in together. I usually choose colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, because that way if they fade together you just get like green blue rather than, you know, pink orange. Ugh. It's not necessarily a bad idea. Like I've seen some people who've done like green with like pink bangs or whatever, and it's come out looking really cool. But when you're washing, you have to be very careful about like not letting your colors get mixed together, because if they do, then you get this awful green pink color. So when you're washing, like you basically have to wash the two parts of your hair separately. And you know, that's certainly something you can do. But me personally, like I'm too lazy, and I'm sure, you know, I'd be able to do it fine for the first week, but then after that I'd be like, I don't want to do my hair out today. I'm just gonna wash it like normal, and then I'd have scuzzy hair. Though it wouldn't be just like one wash that would mess it up. It would be the constant washing it wrong that would end up messing it up eventually. Also, different colors, like of course, have different staying lengths. Green is actually one of the hardest colors to stay in. I've heard bad stuff about blue, but to tell you the truth, if you use Lagoon Blue by Punky Color and it comes out about that shade, like it's a really vibrant, bright blue, it will never come out. Like never. Like I can't even bleach that stuff out. Like before this, my hair was this nasty like yellow grayed out color, and the issue was like I had it blue and I tried to bleach it out, and then I tried to put orange over it, and the result was just terrible because the blue just doesn't come out. Like, but I've also heard that blue is one of the colors that's hard to keep in, that's hard to fade. I know for a fact green is. I've had green like twice before, and both times it's just been like 1 week later, gone. Purple actually stays in really well, like better than just about any other color, especially actually pink does too. Natural colors tend to stay very well, and by natural I don't necessarily mean like honest to God natural colors, but like if you're using oranges or yellows or reds, those tend to stay really well. I honestly don't know why, but like, you know, for example, I had green and yellow in my hair for a while, and I bleached it out, and the green came out fine. You know, that was great. That part was gone, but the yellow was still just bright yellow. Like I hadn't done anything to it. The yellow just did not want to come out. And you kind of get that with orange or with red or other things that are going to leave, you know, again, brassy undertones. Especially, I think part of it is like with purple, when you try and bleach it out, if there are any yellow undertones, they're kind of negated by the little purple that's left, so you kind of get a more whitish color. I honestly, you know, don't know. But anyhow, it's just something to consider. Basically, your best thing to do is, like, it also changes from brand to brand. So basically, your best thing to do is find a color you really like, find a brand you really like, and if you really want to keep that for a long period of time, then you just take those, you know, buy a couple bottles of that color, put it in, see how long it takes for it to fade, and how long, like, Like some people, I really like special effects, especially when they fade, and Pravana. They just, they fade really pretty. So I don't really mind having faded purple or faded green because it's just like this, pretty light green or this delicate lavender color, and it comes out looking really nice. But again,